Welcome. I'd like to show you how I set myself up for success when I am grafting in the round. So I have made a hat here and I'm grafting the edge. This is a great technique if you have worked double knitting, brioche, 1x1 ribbing, versalace, or ribbles. This particular hat is ribbles. It is 1x1 ribbing that has been cabled so the fabric is reversible. When I was working the hat, all the stitches were on one needle in 1x1 ribbing. To set myself up for success, I've started by parking the knit stitches and the purl stitches on separate needles. So what I have is essentially the same thing I would have if I were grafting a sock toe. Knits are here and purls are here. The other thing I have done is I have added pins, because when I graft all the way around and come back to the beginning, I want to be able to join seamlessly to give myself a really beautiful professional finish. I have put this red pin in the very first stitch, the first knit stitch, and the direction of the pin matters. The direction is the same direction I want the tapestry needle to go, so I'm following the pointy end of the pin. So my tapestry needle will go like that to start my graft. And then I will come over here and I will follow the orange pin. And then I will come back here and I follow the yellow pin. And similarly, I will graft all the way around. And then when I get near the end, my next to last maneuver will be following the green pin. And my last maneuver is following the blue pin. So it's finishing this last knit stitch, and then it comes over and I come up in the same place I came up before with the red pin. And that will bring me back to the beginning of the work, and then I'll want to copy the orange and the yellow to give myself a good join. So I am going to go do that, and then I will show you what it looks like when I come back around to the beginning and join up in a way that is seamless. See you in a moment. At this point, I have grafted almost all the way around the edge of my hat. And now I am about ready to use the pins to finish off successfully. My next maneuver is to insert the tapestry needle down into the penultimate knit stitch. In other words, I'm going knitwise into the next to the last knit stitch. And then I want to come up in the last knit stitch. And because I have this blue pin, I can get rid of the knitting needle. Similarly, this green pin is connecting the last two purl stitches, so I can get rid of that needle as well. At this point, I just follow the pins. So I follow the green pin to do the last two purl stitches, and then I follow the blue pin to connect the last knit stitch with the first knit stitch. I have a rather long piece of yarn here. And then at this point, the orange pin and the yellow pin will help me duplicate stitch along my grafting line. When you're in all one color like this, sometimes it's hard to tell which yarn is the grafting and which yarn is the last row of stitches, and that's what the orange and the yellow pin will help me with. So I just follow them. I go there, I go here, and then I can just follow along. So I'll work maybe 4 or 5 duplicate stitches. Then the last thing I'll do is I can plunge my tail into the tube, because this is a tubular bind off. So I can do this maneuver and hide my tail, and no one will ever see it because the tail is tucked down inside the fabric. So there you are. I know that a grafted bind off is more work. It takes more time. You have to sew it instead of knit it. On the other hand, it behaves like the rest of the fabric, and it gives you a really beautiful professional finished edge. So even though it's more work, I think it's worth the effort. I hope you'll be willing to give it a try. Happy knitting!